Following instructions skill. The art of giving effective instructions to help your child cooperate. Hello dear parents. Have you ever felt that it's really hard to get your child to do what you ask? The ability to listen and follow directions is an extremely important skill that significantly impacts a child's behavior and conduct in the future. But before we expect our children to cooperate, here's a little secret. We, as parents, need to master the art of giving effective instructions. In today's session, we'll explore a few key points together. First, how to clearly distinguish between making a request and giving instructions. Then, we'll dive into the reasons why children sometimes don't cooperate. And finally, the most important part, 6 golden tips to help parents give effective instructions so that children are happy to follow them. Let's get started. Distinguishing between a request and an instruction. So, what's the first thing we need to clarify? It's the difference between a request and an instruction. They might sound similar, but they are actually quite different. A request is when we ask our child to do something. For example, "Sweetie, could you help mommy tidy up these toys?" Or, "It's cold outside. Would you mind putting on your jacket?" When given a request, the child has the option to say, yes, or no. That might sound odd, but giving a child a sense of control like this can actually encourage them to cooperate. An instruction, on the other hand, is when parents show the child how to do a specific task. For instance, if you want your child to fold their clothes, instead of just saying, "Fold your clothes," try sitting down with them and showing each step, how to make it flat, neat, and tidy. Giving instructions not only helps your child complete the task but also builds essential life skills. We need to be patient and guide them in learning how to follow instructions, because this is a critical foundation for future learning in school. Without this skill, children may struggle, redoing homework or getting into trouble for not following classroom rules. It's important for parents to be very clear with their words. Are we asking for help? Or are we instructing? If we just say things vaguely or complain like, "This whole house is a mess," and no one helps clean up, or, "Isn't anyone going to give me a hand here?" our children might not understand that we're asking for their help. This lack of clarity can confuse them and reduce their willingness to cooperate. Why do children sometimes not cooperate? Many parents wonder why their child won't listen sometimes. Let's look at some common reasons children might not be cooperating. When children cooperate, it shows respect and a desire to contribute and participate in the family. This is something truly valuable. However, there are times when children don't cooperate. One common reason is that we might be expecting too much, too soon, beyond what they can currently do. For example, if you want your child to tidy their room neatly, but they've never been taught how to organize things systematically, it's not fair to blame them. Instead, break the task into smaller steps and guide them patiently. Once they know how, they'll feel more confident and be more willing to cooperate. Other reasons may include, the child is not feeling well, is tired after a long day, or is scared of something they haven't yet shared. Imagine if your child just got home from school, hungry and exhausted, and you immediately asked them to clean their room. It's understandable that they'd find that hard to do. In situations like this, adjust your request. You might say, "You look tired. How about you eat dinner and rest a bit first? Then clean your room?" This kind of empathy helps build connection and cooperation. Children's behavior also changes depending on their developmental stage. Have you noticed how your child can be very cooperative at times but then go through a phase of being more resistant? Especially during pre-adolescence, around the end of primary school and the beginning of middle school, defiance and resistance are common and part of normal development. During these times, instead of getting angry or overly worried, try to maintain consistency with the family rules while also showing extra love and care. Creating a sense of safety and understanding can help children get through these phases and return to cooperating more willingly. If your child also relies on support from grandparents, older siblings, or even trusted neighbors, consider gently sharing with them how to give effective instructions or requests. Consistency in communication style will help the child understand and respond more easily. 6 golden tips for giving effective instructions. Now comes the part you've been waiting for, the practical tips to help parents give instructions that children are more likely to listen to and follow. Let's go through these 6 important tips. 1. Get your child's attention. First and foremost, make sure your child is actually listening. If you're calling out from the kitchen while your child is absorbed in TV or a game, your words might just fly with the wind. So, how can you get their attention? Move closer, within about 2 meters. If possible, get down to their eye level. This creates connection and shows your child you're serious about talking to them. Say their name before giving the instruction. Use familiar phrases to signal that something important is coming. Like, listen to me, sweetie, what you need to do now is, or simply, please. And very importantly, always use a calm and gentle tone. Even if you're a bit frustrated, try to control your voice. A harsh tone can make your child defensive and less receptive. 2. Use simple and clear language. Once you have their attention, make your instruction short, clear, and age-appropriate. For example, if your child is in 1st grade, say, pick up all the toys on the floor. Put them in the blue basket. Then place the basket on the shelf for mommy. But for a 5th grader, you might say, please tidy up your bookshelf and study desk. A small but important note, only give one instruction at a time. Don't overwhelm your child with a list of tasks. Too much at once can confuse them, and they may end up doing nothing. Break things down. 3. Clearly state what you want. We often make the mistake of being vague or saying what not to do, instead of what to do. For example, if your child is talking with their mouth full, instead of saying, don't eat like that, which is unclear, say, sweetie, let's chew with our mouth closed when we eat. Specific, clear instructions help your child know exactly what is expected, improving the chance of success. 4. Offer choices within limits. Everyone likes feeling in control, even kids. Offering limited choices not only encourages cooperation, but also gives your child a sense of autonomy. Instead of commanding, get ready for school now, try, it's almost time for school. Would you like to bring a cookie or a milk box for your snack today? Or instead of, do your homework, ask, before soccer practice, do you want to do math or Vietnamese homework first? Just make sure both options lead to your desired outcome. 5. Ask your child to repeat the instruction. Want to make sure your child heard and understood you correctly? Gently ask them to repeat what you said. For instance, after saying, please put your books in your backpack, you can ask, can you repeat what mommy just asked you to do? This helps check understanding. Once your child becomes more used to listening and following directions, you can gradually stop this step, unless they seem distracted or misunderstood. 6. Use logical consequences. So what if you've done all of the above, but your child still doesn't cooperate? Sometimes, consistent consequences are needed, either natural or logical ones. For example, if you don't finish your homework before dinner, you won't get to watch your favorite cartoon tonight. The consequence must be related to the behavior and communicated calmly and clearly in advance. Don't forget the power of positive consequences. When your child cooperates, praise them specifically and show your appreciation. For instance, wow, you folded the clothes so neatly. I'm really happy you helped me. Or, thanks for putting your shoes in the right place as soon as you got home. Great job. These compliments are far more effective than focusing only on mistakes. Closing thoughts. As you can see, Helping children learn to follow instructions is not just about giving orders, it's a whole art of communication, patience, and understanding. With consistency, love, and clear, effective instructions, we not only help our children cooperate better now, but we also lay strong foundations for their self-regulation, sense of responsibility, and independence in the future. Wishing you patience and lots of success on this wonderful parenting journey.